Hello fellow traders, my name is Simon and welcome again to Poolside Forex Academy with another brand new weekly forecast. And on today's weekly forecast, as usual, we're gonna head to the old man DXY so we can understand the overall movement of the market. Then we will look at some of our commodities and famous currencies that we have out there. So hold on to your seats, and without any more time to waste, let's head to DXY and see what we have. Let's go. Okay, currently as you can see, we're on 1 hour on DXY, and what I currently understand from this, aside from the MACD, I see actually a level of equal highs right up here that is actually taken right now, and the reaction that I actually expect from it is the price of it might actually give us a pullback, and from here it will actually keep on going to the upside. But with all of these equal highs right above here, this is not likely to happen. The thing that is more likely to happen is that the bearish momentum in DXY's price is going to actually gain a lot of power, which is actually going to make the price of it come down below this level and give us a little bit of a pullback and then come down right here. With this scenario, what will happen to the market is that if it actually keeps going to the upside, which is going to be a short and temporary movement because we have equal highs over here, which actually gives us a less ratio of movement to the upside. But if it actually maintains its own bearish momentum, it will actually keep falling to the downside, and after giving us a really small pullback, it will keep going to the downside because the price of it has nothing here. There is no support below these levels, and this support level has been taken recently, and the only support level is that if we take this low with this low right down here, we can see that they're equal, so there might be a possibility for it to actually take these momentum actually from these two equal lows and then start to keep going to the upside. But there is actually a strong possibility that because the dollar has been falling so much recently, banks decide to actually give it more of a bullish momentum so it can regain all of its power that it has lost. So what is more likely to happen? From my perspective, the pullback has been already done, and from what I see now is that we have no support level below here but this one. If this one is taken out, or if this one actually is going to be taken out in the future, we will actually expect the price of it to fall down a bit more and then start to go up and regain its power. But if it didn't happen, and if you saw the resistance so powerful, it might actually pull itself up to the upside and actually get all of this liquidity right above these levels. And the level that I'm most afraid of is actually this level right up here. This level holds a lot of money, so what may happen is this one. This is another scenario that may or may not happen, but as I said, dollar won't let itself to fall so much, so it will actually regain its power. And what I see from the overall structure of the movement of it is that it is kind of breaking its own bearish trend. It is actually starting a bullish movement to the upside, and yeah, that's it. But I still actually believe that the price of it will fall because it actually now has turned back to its own level, but it's not showing any bullish momentum, and all that I'm seeing is that bearish momentum is still in its price. So it will help it to pass this level to the downside and come somewhere around here this area, and this will have a bullish effect on XAUUSD, XAGUSD, GBPUSD, or AUDUSD, or I don't know, EURUSD, and a bearish effect on USDJPY, USDCHF, and whatever that has USD at the first of its name. Okay, let's have a final look at it on 4-hour time frame. If I come to 4-hour time frame, what I currently see is that yes, a bullish momentum has done its work and actually pushed the price to the upside just for a small period of time, and this means that it might actually lose its power. And what I currently see, if I remove all of this drawing, I currently see a channel, that this channel is actually broken, I'm afraid, or not. Yeah, this channel is broken from the downside, but the pullbacks didn't work, so this means that it is not in a good position. So if we try this level, we can see that it has actually reacted to the level so much, and recently it has broken it. So what I actually can understand from this one as well is that the same scenario will happen. It will fall down right to these areas that have a lot of support below them and actually keep going to the upside, because it has been moving to the downside for a long time, and dollar won't let its own value to drop down so much, so we can kind of expect that movement from its market. Okay, that's it for dollar. Now let's head to some of our commodities out there. For example, the most famous one, XAUUSD. Okay, now that we are on 1-hour time frame, there are no divergences that are going to help us with the analysis. And what I currently can understand from this is that it is continuously forming equal highs and actually leaving a lot of liquidity above them too as well. So what I can understand from this is that, okay, based on this channel, what I can see is that there was a support below the mid-level of the channel and actually pushed the price to the upside of the channel, and actually we have another equal high formed right above here, which is actually teasing me into think that the price of it might actually experience a little bit of a more downfall to the downside right down here, and then start to come up again, gather all of this liquidity that is actually lying above here, and then decide whatever it wants to do with it. But the overall movement from my perspective is going to be bullish, because as we said, we are actually more likely going to experience a bearish trend or movement to the downside in DXY, so this one will have a bullish movement to the upside. Okay, let's head to another one, XAGUSD. The same scenario actually happens to be true here as well. Another thing that I'm seeing here is another channel that is actually doing its work right here. There is a support below it, which is completely obvious. This support might actually help the price to come up, so the same scenario is going to happen for XAGUSD. So these two actually support the idea of dollar going to the downside, so we are happy with that, right? Hopefully it will happen. Nobody knows. Okay, let's head to another one. For example, USDCHF. Okay, what I am currently seeing from this one is that it has recently started to move to the downside, and that move is because it has taken two equal highs. and it has the bearish momentum of these two, or actually the liquidity that was laying above these two equal highs, and hopefully it will keep its move to the downside. Let's say it has gathered all the move that it wanted, it came down, it's kind of giving us a pullback, so we might actually expect another actually bullish movement to the upside, and then it will fall down right here. I don't see any supports below this low because this low is a really weak one, and as you can see, the MACD that is actually showing us the real highs and real lows, it's showing that this low is not a real low and it's a fake low, and it might actually be taken after a while. So the same scenario that we had on dollar, that we said that it's going to fall, this one will actually fall with the dollar. And let's head to the next one. Okay, the next one is USDJPY. This one is a little bit tricky, but let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, nothing. What happens mostly in the price of a currency is that due to the visibility of the range of the market that many of the traders can actually see, we can actually understand that this movement to the upside was a movement just in order to take this piece of imbalance, and it is actually taken. And when the imbalances are taken, the price of it collects a lot of bearish liquidity. I don't see any support below the price. What I see is only money below it. Right here we have a lot of liquidity that is actually going to be taken, and if these liquidities are going to be taken, the price might actually, the liquidity to keep going to the downside. But what I am sure is that currently the price has no support below it. It might come down here, form a small pullback, and then keep going to the downside just in order to take all of this liquidity. And by going to the downside, I mean that if it reaches this area, or if it reaches itself to the downside of this level, we will expect the price of it to actually form a small pullback, keep going to the downside, which is going to support the theory that we had on DXY, or it might actually take this pullback and pass this level, give a pullback right the opposite way, and then keep going to the upside again. But what I am sure about it is that currently it's going to keep its bearish momentum to the downside, so you can actually enter bearish trades in the next week's opening of the market, and you can enjoy the profit that you're going to take from this fall in USDJPY specifically. Okay, let's head to another one. For example, USDCAD, US dollar per Canadian dollar, again on 1 hour time frame, and this has kind of similar scenario. There was a channel, and this channel actually was taken out from the upside. It is currently having a support, and this support is not because of the wall of the channel. The support is just because of these equal highs. And what I actually expect from it is that if it wanted to pass this level to the downside, it would have done it like so much sooner. So what I currently can understand from it is that there are no equal highs above these levels, and currently it might actually come to the bottom of the level, or maybe to the bottom of the channel, start going to the upside, give us a little bit of a pullback again to the same level, and then start to go to the upside. This is more likely to happen, but currently there are no equal lows. that's what scares me. This is a weak low. This is a fake low because MACD is showing positive and green clouds, and these green clouds actually represent a high. This means that all of these highs are highs and these lows are just fake lows. So this again will support our theory of the movement of the DXY. So there might be a move to the downside again, come back to the upside, which actually matches the level of the fake lows, and then it will keep its move to the downside. Okay, let me fix it like that. Okay, for the final look, let's head to our site and see what we have there as well. Okay, now that we're on our site, let's head to the calendar and visit some of the commodities and currencies that we checked today. For example, the USDCAD, the last one. At the end of the week, for the forecast of it, we have one positive point, which actually currently points that it might actually keep its movement to the upside, but this bullish power that it currently holds was because of some of the positive news that we had on the last week. On the next week events, we have some positive movement to the upside, which is more likely to happen, as I said, because there was a support level below the price. Okay, there is actually a lot of positive news that are going to impact the price of USDCAD in a positive way, which actually scares me. But if we take a look at this chart right on the left side, we can see that the USD has the most negative impact on the market, or it's better to say it had the most negative impact on the market through the last months. And let's have a look at it in the last week. Okay, yeah, in the last week Euro had the most actually negative impact on the market, but through the last months USD had the most negative impact on the market. So this actually supports again the theory of US dollar falling a little bit more to the downside. Let's take a look at another one. Now if we take a look at USDJPY, and if we go to next week's events, and if we go to high impacts again, this one has taken some negative points for the next week. So this one is more likely to fall because of the lack of support below its price as we analyzed it on the chart. And let's look at another one as well, the USDCHF. Next week's events, high impacts. This one has gotten a little bit more of a positive points, but there will be a lot of news in the next week that are not now available, which actually going to form the overall movement of the market, which actually, as always, they are always having temporary impact on the market, and the real analysis is on the chart as we analyzed it. And we can hopefully trust in our analysis, because nobody can say that this will happen. There are a lot of things out there that are going to change the movement of the market second by second. Okay guys, that's it for today's weekly forecast. I hope you have enjoyed it. Have a good time and peace.